In this lesson, we start building a practical Power BI data model. You will learn how to merge product tables into a single dimension, create relationships between fact table and dimension table, handle role-playing date dimensions, reuse calendar table code, and clean your model by hiding unnecessary columns for better reporting. Let's dive in. Let's start working on the data model, and we are going to see some examples, some common data modeling challenges that you will have, and how do you solve it. Okay, so let's go back. I hope you have a data model that looks something like this. Um, and I will give you an exercise before I show you how to do it, a little refresh of your memory to do the merge. So here, as all of these data sets belong to a single dimension, I will merge all of this together into a single dimension, but I'm not going to merge it with the fact table because this is a fact table, right? So what I want you to do is this. Start with your product table, and inside the product table, maybe you can bring your product category comes here, right? Your product list price comes here, and then your product cost. Bring all these columns inside one table, and what operation will you use? Merge, right? Inside Power Query. Once you have done it, then you just disable the load of these tables, right? Too many lines on my screen, but that's what I want you to do yourself. Spend 5-7 minutes doing it. If you cannot do it, then I will help you out. How do you go back inside Power Query? Yeah, go to Transform Data and click on Transform Data. It will take you back in. I want you to do merge yourself. If you cannot do it for 5-7 minutes, I'll help you out, but give it a go. If you have done it, just give me a thumbs up that all done. Okay, so I think most of you have done it. I will go through the process. Click Transform Data. I will start with Product Table, Merge Queries. Then I click on Product Cost, let's say. Product Code. Product Code is connected. I don't really need to do fuzzy match because everything is matching anyways. So I click OK. Expand. Only want the product cost, and I will uncheck this option to not get a really long column name. That's my product cost. I go to merge query again. Let's do it for product list price. Now my question is, should I combine product code and product code, or should I combine product subcategory and product subcategory, or it does not matter?
I think it matters.
Let me actually do it for
I
you.
I think code.
You think on?
It doesn't matter as long as there is no errors or matching.
So it's product code subcategory, or does not matter. Okay, that's great. Yes, code is the right answer in this case. And the reason is we have multiple list prices for a single subcategory. If I want to pull a subcategory, you have to go with the lowest level of grain. Whenever you're doing merge, it's safer to just go with the lowest level of hierarchy, which is product code. But another thing that you can consider is this. You can combine two columns together. This is also a great technique when you're doing a merge. I hold product code and then I hold control. I do product category. See this? This gives you 1 and 2. You know how in Excel we concatenate the columns? This mimics the concatenation. It will mimic like a product code is concatenated with product subcategory. And then I can do product code product subcategory. The thing that you have to take care of is this 1 and 1 and this 2 and 2 is in the same order. In this case, even if I just do a product code, it will give me the same answer. Okay, but just showing you as a technique that you can use inside merge. Expand. I only need product list price because product subcategory already exists here, right? So I don't need to bring it twice. It will duplicate the column. Then I go to merge again. I do it with subcategory, subcategory mixed with subcategory. Okay, expand, and I want the category. So I have category, I have cost, 1. I can move it a little bit. I can rearrange category, subcategory, product, cost, and list price, right? Once I have all these columns, I don't need these data sets anymore. Right click, right click, right click. I don't want to load them, uncheck, close, and apply. Okay, once you have it, I can connect this product code, hold and drag with product code. Then I also have this calendar table that we were building yesterday, right? I have a calendar table and I can connect this order date with the date, or I could connect ship date with the date. What should I do?
You can
Which
join both.
Yeah,
can we?
I think you just only have it to one, only one active. So if you have, but as long as you have one active, it will still be able to pull the data from the other.
Okay, so remember the star schema rule? Only one active relationship, right? So you can join two, but only one will remain active at a given point. This is a very common data modeling challenge that people face. And there is a specific name for this problem as well. It's called role playing dimension. And date is a very common dimension which will play multiple roles. Specifically people who are working in logistics and supply chain and invoice date. So especially people who are working in logistics, you can have at like 10 dates inside your transaction table. How do you make a connection because you can only have one active? This is a data modeling challenge, and the name of this problem is role playing dimensions. And how do you deal with it? We are going to discuss. So I'm just highlighting this as a problem, and how we solve it, we are going to see. Okay. For now, you have to make a management decision, right? For now, you have to make a management decision that when within the business, when someone talks about month on month sales, what do they really think? Are they thinking in terms of an order date or the ship date or delivery date? What is that unconscious agreement that we have when we talk about a date? So that becomes your important date. You click on the date. Let's say in our case, it's an order date. You can see it creates a connection. But when you will go from your date to the ship date, you will see it creates an inactive relationship. You can create 10 inactive relationship. It does not matter. Okay. So now we have a fact table surrounded by, right? Let's create some calculations now. Now that our star schema is taking some shape, let's start and discuss some data modeling challenges and some data modeling solutions, and we will create some calculations too. Let's click on the calendar table. I just want to make sure that your calendar table is correct. So before, while everyone left yesterday, I think it was James who had this quarter. How do you create a financial quarter? So that's your financial quarter. If you want, I can share the formula with you in the chat. You can create this column for financial quarter. And also just do a quick check. You have all the columns in place. And more importantly, have you sorted this column? We sorted this fiscal period by fiscal period number. So it follows the right sorting in the report.
So just when we're doing that, what's it? It's just sorting this table by the fiscal period number. So,
Not the table, James, a specific column, right? This fiscal period column,
yeah,
I don't want to sort it alphabetically. I want to sort it based on how the fiscal period actually works, which is July, starts from July, and then it goes until June. So I want to sort this column with respect to this column.
but then wouldn't we have a number one appear there?
No, January is not
So,
number one. July is number one, right? If you have number one, see this.
oh yeah, no, I understand that. But just because when we're saying sort by, we're
Yeah.
saying sort it by fiscal period number.
So do this.
In
Click
my,
on the column.
yeah,
Click on the column. Then
yeah,
go to sort by.
yeah.
And then you click on fiscal period number. You can think of it as I'm just joining and linking these columns together for the purpose of sorting.
Okay.
Ali, while everyone is doing this, you said yesterday that if we can check with our colleagues if they already had a calendar table,
Yeah.
but then would this you've just created this calendar table? Can we not use it rather than asking them? Would or
Well, you can,
because they,
because you can, of course. But then why do you want to recreate something that already exists?
so isn't this one created already? Can we reuse this? again and again, or would there be?
Does this satisfy all your business requirement though, Usman? Because what you will realize is as you start working more and more on the data model, very specific date related requirements would come up. So in some businesses, they have a specific reporting period. They want to report on a certain date. So they already create a calendar table to satisfy those requirements. Some businesses work on 445 and 454 kind of a weekly period. So if a table already exists, then you start from there. If it does not exist, this gives you some base, some important columns to start off with. You can reuse it. Yes, you can.
All right.
There is also one code that I would normally share in the tax class, but let me show you something which is a lot more reusable. Okay. See this code? Can you see this code on my screen?
Yep.
Now, this code, you can just move from one data set to another data set. First, let me show it to you quickly. You don't have to actually create this in your data model. We already have a calendar table, but this is it's much easier to reuse across different data models. So if I copy it, I go back, I click on the home tab, I click on new table, right? I just call it like calendar one, because we already have a calendar, and I paste it, right? These are some of the variables we go into detail in the tax course, but don't worry. But what I have is I pick the minimum of order date, which comes from the sales table. Then I pick the maximum of order date that comes from, so I pick the minimum date, maximum date. I extract the year out of it. Then I use this formula called calendar table to create a calendar, and then there's a formula called add columns. So I can actually add the columns in the same formula, right? So it just gives me this table very quickly. Without having to create column by column, I can have one consolidated formula where I consolidate creation of the table and then creation of the columns simultaneously. Okay, so if you look at it closely, it's basically just name of a column followed by expression of a column, right? Name of a column followed by expression of a column. Let me share this code with you as well. So if you want to just move it, you should be able to just move it across data sets. So for now, I'm just going to delete it. We don't really want to date tables. Click on it, right click, delete from the model. Okay, give me a thumbs up if this makes sense. You have your calendar table ready. We will just take a quick break for 15 minutes, but I just want to just point out something inside the data model. Remember the principle that we discussed yesterday. Stop the noise upstream wherever possible. We are stopping the noise upstream inside Power Query by disabling the load. Wherever a table does not need to be loaded inside the data model, we are not loading it. Otherwise, we will actually have 15 tables here. How can I stop the noise at the data modeling level so it does not flow to the reporting layer? How can I do it? See this. One common way that people would do is see this column, fiscal period number column. This column is only helping me to do the sort. It's not really required. I'm not going to report on it. I can right click and I can hide it. That's one way of hiding, but the one that I kind of prefer, it makes it easier for me to hide columns, is I would go here. So the basic idea is I will hide all the columns which is not required for the report. You know, I I hide it, I hid all the tables which were not required for the data modeling. In a similar way, I will hide all the tables and the columns which are not required for the report, which is this fiscal period number. I'm going to hide it. Hide. What else can I hide? I'm going to hide this month number, right? Month number is not really required. Hide it. What else can I hide? It's also a good idea to hide your foreign keys, right? All these, what is a foreign key? When I hover over this relationship, I have this order date and I also have an equivalent date, so I can just hide this order date. Then when I hover over this relationship, I have a city. I also have an equivalent city inside the sales table. So I can just hide the foreign key. In the product table, I have a product code and I also have an equivalent product code. So I can just hide this product code. it reduces your duplication of the column as a practice, because over time your data model will have a similar column appear in 5 different places. The more you can control it, the better that will be for the report author. Because if you really want to think in a way that I can move this model and provide access to the report author, you have to control your duplication of the column, because when they are creating a report, they will not know where to pick a column from. When I go here and I search product, product code, it only comes from a dimension table. It does not come from 5 different places. When I search city, it only comes from one place. It does not come from multiple places. And also, it allows you to be a little more thoughtful that what columns have importance from a reporting perspective. Even, if you would ask me, I might even just hide the sales ID. It does not have any reporting significance. I might even hide this product code. It will not have any reporting significance. Once I multiply these 2 columns and get the revenue, I might even hide them. Depends upon what my requirement is. All the columns that becomes useless from the reporting perspective, I'll hide it. It will give me a very nice, clean reporting layer. And especially when I will share it with the report authors, they will not get lost in this complexity. So that's one little advice there, and that's how you can start to think about what to hide and what not. We will keep doing this as a practice once we add more tables. So yeah, I think just make it part of your habit. Like, what can I hide once your data model starts to grow and become complex? So with that, please save your file. If you have a question, if you have not been able to follow a step, please stay back. Let me help you out.
Only have a quick one. Oh, you said that we have to sort fiscal year, but then I think you try to show, but it's in re. Do you have to reorder back to sorting it
So
from January?
no, so sorting in the data set view does not really matter.
Okay.
Have you done the step? Like, have you sorted this based on fiscal period number?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have done this, that's all I need you to do. Once we
Okay.
start working on the report, you will understand why it actually matters. When you're working the data set, it's not very obvious that why it matters.
No worries. Okay.
Okay, all right.